Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here today. Tanner Holmes, everybody was questioning what's going on, where are you going to be? And then a day ago on his Facebook page, on his socials, also you could go to his YouTube channel. He put out a video as well, kind of descripting everything that he's done or has lined up. And it's going to be starting down there in Texas at Big O Speedway. I believe that's a Sunday show or a Saturday show in Lawton Sunday, something like that. But he's going to be starting down there with the Outlaws, and he's going to be jumping over the high limit and RPM. He's going to be in Texas for almost the first month of his year, then Knoxville, then staying in the Midwest a little bit all the way until the middle of May, and then that's when he'll shift over to the West Coast. And then it also looks like he'll get out of the West Coast come Knoxville. It looks like here in the beginning of July, or second week of July, that'll lead over to the Kings Royal in Eldora. He'll stay in the Midwest, running Huset's, Knoxville, all the way up until the April 14th date, that huge event. I believe that's the big event at Thunderbolt with high limit. Kings, Placerville, the 100,000 at Silver Dollar, the 100,000 at Skagit. And see, honestly, guys, after the Knoxville Nationals, if I'm putting a schedule together that's similar to this, high limit Knoxville, I might, instead of like he cuts off and goes West Coast, I would probably cut off and go PA or something like that. But after Knoxville this year, if you're a sprint car driver or covering the sport at all, you basically would just go to California and be there pretty much for a month, solid month. There's big events. First, it kicks off with high limit, and then the Outlaws come in and swing through as well into September. Before you get your end of the year dates and end of the year races. 4 Crown, I believe, is where the Outlaws will go back to that side of the country, and then also the National Open there at the beginning of October and races of the such. But that whole entire mid-August to mid-September, California, the West Coast drivers, if y'all have felt neglected by losing your World Outlaw spring swing, this kind of wholeheartedly makes up for it. So interesting to see his schedule here. It makes plenty of sense for the operation he's got going on. It'll be interesting to see his new paint schemes and all the stuff coming out. Obviously, Tanner Holmes was one of those guys, jumping into the Jacob Allen situation, performing very well right out of the gate. Kind of slumped off, kind of backed her down just a little bit and didn't really, just start winning World Outlaw races like we were all hoping, right? We were all hoping that the doubters would get their mouth shut, but still performed relatively well, got a lot of experience. I know I saw some people say they were mad at him for not doing a Pennsylvania swing at all, but he did mention in his video, this is to be determined. It is tentative kind of schedule, so at any point, this could change. I'm sure somebody from Pennsylvania was like, hey, what do you need to get to PA? And he threw out a number, and that guy said, okay, if you get here, I'll pay it. I'm sure you could have Tanner Holmes get to Pennsylvania somehow. But that sounds just like me when I'm going up and down the roads. Hey, I'm doing what I can. And then somebody's like, hey, you want to come here? I'm like, well, here's what it takes. And if it happens, it happens. It's a tentative schedule. This dirt thing's about survival. We're not getting all this clout and status to be well-ran dirt racing operation. It's very organically based on where you go and how you make it. So for those in PA who are upset they're not getting Tanner Holmes this year based on this schedule, I'm sure some people, or there's some people in the area or region that can change that. Obviously, he's getting pretty damn close going all the way over to Eldora. So this is a situation that is probably going to develop over the season. I'm sure if you go out there and you junk a few cars, you got to change this entire schedule. Or if you go out there and win a few races, you might change the entire schedule. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens with Tanner Holmes this year. Speaking of 2024 schedule, of course, we all know I've been building up this Kennedale Speedway Park race and some of these Texas events that are coming up, Big O, Ennis, and all that. And the World of Outlaws have actually came out with a World of Outlaws March Mayhem. This is on worldofoutlaws.com/March Mayhem. And this is a bracket challenge that they have. Let me get this a little bit bigger. This is a bracket challenge that somebody very smart, they finally got the old Walker guy out of there with his cane. And they have advanced their ways of doing things here in the World of Outlaws, it seems like. This is extremely interactive. There is prizes to win this game. It's obviously spinning off of March Madness for the basketball industry. But the grand prizes on this, in this game, is 2 general admission tickets to a World Outlaw Series event, travel not included, of course, 2 fan pit passes, a meet and greet with your favorite full-time Outlaw driver. If Donnie Schatz has not changed his paint scheme, I suggest nobody picking him. A 2024 Dirt Vision Platinum Fast Pass, and $150 in World of Outlaw store credit. Additional winners will have a 6-month of Dirt Vision Fast Pass and $50 store credit as well. So there is rules. There's no purchase necessary. You just have to come up here and pick from the bracket. And how they have this set up, round 1, these are based on race nights. Round 1 is Friday at Kennedale. Round 2 is Saturday at Kennedale. Round 3 or quarterfinals is Cotton Bow Speedway's prelim night, Cotton Bow Speedway's final night, two-day shows that they're having there in Kennedale and down there at Cotton Bowl, which is closer to the Austin area. And then the final night will be at Big O in Ennis, Texas, formerly known as 85 Speedway. I don't know if some of those people back in the day used to watch that Smiley Seten Outlaw Driving School, like VHS kind of promo video. That is where they used to do the Smiley Seten 410 Sprint Car Outlaw Driving Experience for a very long time. Not forever. Obviously, they switched that around from different tracks. But in its prime of its existence, the Smiley Seten Outlaw Driving School was based at that racetrack at Big O Speedway. That was originally named 85 Speedway before it's changed hands over the years. It should be a good race as well. You never know, though, but it should be a good race. So how this is working is they basically have drivers seated based on who they think is 32 cars. So 16 cars here slated in this, or 16 brackets with 32 cars here in the first round on Friday night. And you just got to pick who's going to beat who in the Friday night challenge. And then going into the next picks that you have there, you would do the Saturday night. Who's going to beat who? Who's going to finish better overnight or over the night there on the Saturday night show. Then Cotton Bowl, who's going to win? Who's going to beat who when you went down your bracket? And then to the semifinal at Cotton Bowl, and then the final night at Big O Speedway. So I'm going to go ahead and show y'all who I picked here. And then y'all can make fun of me. And y'all can sit back and say, Chaz, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh my God, how could you pick that guy? But this is what I got, guys. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Play games. Here's what I got. Hold on. Here's what I got right here. We'll get it to the screen because it's a little bit easier with the circle. Oh, you almost got a little bit of a taste of what I got here. Hold on. So, on Kennedale, we gotta hide these other picks here because I don't want y'all to see everything. Hold on, there we go. We'll just half screen it. That's all we can do. So, in round 1, Kennedale Friday, Kennedale Speedway Park. This is picking who you think is going to be who in these brackets that they have set. They got David Gravel, Danny Jennings. I'll tell you what, this is a potential upset. If Danny Jennings, and y'all don't know who that is, if Danny Jennings has his stuff going right, and if we could rewind time 20 years ago, he might have a chance. But he is a little up in age now. I don't know all the equipment that they're working with. And I'm sorry, Danny, but you are matched up against David fucking Gravel. So I'm picking David Gravel on this one. Ryan Timms versus Craig Kinzer. I went with Ryan Timms. I think he's got the experience around these facilities down in the South, the style of racing, the slick track, short track stuff that you have to do well on. I think Ryan Timms is gonna best Craig Kinzer in this. Then you get to Bill Baylog, Noah Gass. Bill Baylog, Noah Gass. We're gonna save these. I went with Noah Gass, guys. I know we've all talked crap about Noah Gass over the years. It's hard. He has wrecked a lot of race cars and obviously kind of wrecked himself out of the series. But and there's been a lot of justified reasons to say that. But he is from the South. The racing down there is a little bit different, especially on these quarter miles. This ain't Devil's Bowl. These are the quarter miles of Texas, and it gets a little different race. The racing down there can be amazing. It could rubber up and be junk, but I don't think so. But I'm going to have to go with Noah Gass. Of course, he picked up a win with the ASCS Bandit Outlaw Sprint Cars or ASCS Elite Outlaw Sprint Cars, whatever they're calling it now down there in Texas, their 410 Open Motor Series. He just picked up a win there last week or 2 weeks ago. So he's got speed, and they already ran a race at this track. So I'm going to go with Noah Gass on this bracket against Bill Baylog. And that is the upset. Obviously, that's a seeded number 9 to a seeded 24, guys. So this is a long shot pick according to the bracket here. And then the next one. Oh my. I know people are mad about this. Oh, I'm sure y'all are rolling in your graves pissed off at me picking Chase Randall over Corey Day. Now, this one took a minute. I'm not even going to lie. This one took a minute. Now, obviously, Chase Randall from Texas, he's got the experience. But Corey Day, once again, back to CV and Larson. CV, Larson, then you had Kofoid, same story. Then you had Corey Day. These are all the same storied guys. They're just as talented as one another. It's based on opportunity on where they're going to go and what they're going to be. But Chase Randall has been racing down under. He's been loose, and he's going to his home track. The quickest chicken is clucking in his own little coop. Okay? If you want to go into the man's little coop down there and start pecking, you might get pecked, and not in the Justin Peck kind of way. But anyways, I do think that Chase Randall is going to best Corey Day on the opening night, for sure, at KSP. I just think it's going to happen. I'm sorry. And then I'm picking long shots all the way down the board here. I got Dominic Scelzi over Logan Schuchart. I believe Dominic Scelzi has raced a few times down there in Texas with the Elite Series, the open motor kind of wing series. I believe he did a Bandit Outlaw Sprint Car Series event down there as well. So I got 3 long shots destroying their newer seats. Now, this is going to be hard. Logan Schuchart obviously can be one of the best race car drivers in the world at any given moment and could just dominate fields like they shouldn't even be on the same track with them. But Dominic Scelzi, West Coast driving style, kind of does like, when he gets out of California, he gets onto those slick, kind of smooth racetracks. I see him perform very well. And I just feel like maybe he's got a little edge here on Logan Schuchart in that little bitty quarter mile at KSP. So I'm going to give the edge to Dominic Scelzi in this matchup, 4-29. So we just had a 9, 8, and a 4 knocked out by a 24, 25, and 29. So if this makes it, I'm going to be like the only guy left. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with my damn fast pass. But anyways, let's see the next one. Brenham Crouch over Bill Rose. Now, this is obviously defending IRA champion, but Brenham Crouch is from the state of Texas. And I think that's going to play a big factor. I don't know how to give y'all the understanding that track knowledge here is going to be a very, very big deal. And Brenham Crouch, somebody from that DFW Metroplex racing-wise area, I think is going to have an advantage, especially over Bill Rose, in my opinion. Corey Eliason over Austin McCarl. Now, some people may be like, oh my God, Chaz, have you seen the light? You've been saying Corey Eliason is so overrated. You don't know how he gets into race cars anymore. You have no idea what happened. You explained to me how they were about to shut down the 26 routine round because Corey Eliason couldn't get it going. And then Zeb Wise jumped in, saved the day. So that must mean it was the driver that made that car slow for its entirety existence. Now, Corey Eliason is good in certain situations. I think little bitty slick quarter miles are probably going to be, in his wheelhouse. This is a Corey Eliason wheelhouse, especially in comparison to Austin McCarl big half mile. That's what at least most of us see Austin McCarl perform on. Obviously, he runs Husets in some short tracks, not taking away his ability on short tracks. But I feel like Corey Eliason definitely has the experience in this category, and to adjust to a little quarter mile that's going to be slick and potentially up on the wall or around a little bit of a bottom, I think Corey Eliason does kind of shine on those style tracks. So I am picking Corey Eliason over Austin McCarl in this bracket. So that's the first time in a while here that we actually picked the favorite outside of David Gravel and Craig Kinzer and Ryan Timms. We've been long shotting all the way down here, in my opinion, for reasons. And Corey Eliason, hopefully he'll get it done. He might just pull off the track because he knows that I said that I picked him. That's how it goes. And then here we go. I can't believe somebody is throwing their shit at the screen. I picked Blake Hahn over Carson Macedo, guys. Do I need to take a sip of coffee? Now, I know this is going to shock some people, but I think Blake Hahn is pretty damn good. I think if he had the opportunities to run full time on a national 410 scene, he would be a top 10 car to start out, and then potentially top 5 after that. We see the success Landon Crawley has here recently, and I'll tell you right now, Landon Crawley, what he's doing is showing you what all these other guys who are better than him in 360 racing in this region of the country could do if with the same opportunities. That's what I believe Landon Crawley and his success is showing. It's not showing me that he's some elite racing talent. It's showing me that all these guys who have been beating him and who are just as good, if not better, than Landon Crawley could be doing the same things with the same opportunity. And there's some talent in the southern areas of the country behind the wheel of sprint cars. And in my opinion, Blake Collins, one of those. Now, has he had 410 opportunities? Obviously, yes. He's had good runs. Of course, starting out with high limit last year, he was very quick. He goes to the Chili Bowl, runs extremely competitively. And once again, I think that track, just that area of the world experience, is going to lean in Blake Hahn's favor, even in comparison to a Carson Macedo. Now, Macedo, you can make the same arguments that I did with, Dominic Scelzi being a West Coast guy. That's his roots. He's a short track guy. He's from California. But both of these guys have that on their resume, except Blake Hahn has these specific style racetracks on his resume. And I think Blake Hahn's a little bit better than people give him credit for. So we got Blake Hahn besting Carson Macedo on night number 1 overall. Man, if these go through, wow. And then we got Donnie Schatz over Brett Becker. Okay, so that's pretty much, a given, right? I honestly don't know who Brett Becker is. I'm sorry. I should, right? I should know who Brett Becker is. Oh, let's just get up here. Then we got Jacob Allen taking Creed Kimenol. This should not be a surprise to me. It could be, though. I did kind of sweat on this one. I did kind of sweat because Jacob Allen's hit and miss, man. He's hot and cold sometimes. And we got Wayne Johnson besting Brock Zierfoss. Once again, I'm making this based on track. I'm basing this on experience. I'm basing this on ability. I do think Wayne Johnson has a pretty damn good amount of ability behind the wheel of a sprint car on these style of race tracks in the South specifically. And I'm taking Wayne Johnson over Brock Zierfoss. Unless Brock Zierfoss somehow turns the entire ship around. But he is good on short tracks too. Obviously, he's coming from the micro ranks. Micro ranks are on these short style slinger in there, especially MPA type situations. So this is a toss up, but I went with Wayne Johnson on this one. Buddy Kofoid over Aaron Reitzel. This one was a hard one for me. A lot of my gut instinct is picking Aaron Reitzel to do extremely well the next 2 months between the Outlaws and High Limit down there in the South. Aaron Reitzel's going to do some things down there that's very impressive. Obviously, he won the Classic over here. I did notice a sticker on the chassis, but we're going to save that for another time. He did win the Classic at Premier. That was very interesting and put on a hell of a show. And Aaron Reitzel has a lot of experience down there in the South. That's where he's from. He was possibly one of the best talents from the South of the United States. But I just feel like this Michael Buddy Kofoid, man. Hold on. I still feel like Michael Buddy Kofoid can make some noise in the World Outlaw Sprint Car Series. He's had extremely bad luck. He could probably potentially be second or third in points or the points leader if his luck has not went the way that it's went so far to start this year. Under the hood, the shock, the tires, everything just went wrong for Buddy Kofoid. And I think he's very easily adaptable to multiple racing surfaces and cars and things, just like a Larson, just like a CV. And I have a feeling that Michael Buddy Kofoid is going to bounce back quick and right out of the gate this next race. He's going to have a damn attitude, and the dog is going to get a scent, and he's going to be sniffing his way to the damn front. And I think Buddy Kofoid is on the first night of World Outlaw action at Kennedale Speedway Park is going to be, in my opinion, a favorite to win some outlaw races down here, Aaron Reitzel. Whoever wrote this list, you got that one extremely wrong by putting Aaron Reitzel as 26. Aaron Reitzel's at least a top 15. My projection would be top 10 driver when you're talking about these races down here in the South on these tracks that you are going to. And that RSR equipment stuff is really good. I don't care what Corey Eliason did in it. Aaron Reitzel's a badass. Aaron Reitzel's good. So anyways, I don't know if y'all are still punishing him from all those years ago, but I just feel like Aaron Reitzel's this was a hard choice for me, personally. Hard choice. Speaking of hard choices, next on the bracket, Giovanni Scelzi over Brady Bacon, and I really wanted to go Brady Bacon on this. Obviously, beat the World Outlaws on a short track at Tri-State Hopstot last year, and we're in his wheelhouse. The Oklahoma region's where he's from. Has a background in ASCS sprint car racing action. That's a lot of these quarter miles and short tracks in the Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas regions of the world. And you're going to KSP, but you're also going up against Giovanni Scelzi. And there's a lot of momentum behind Scelzi. And once again, another guy from the West Coast, another Larson, Seavey, Kofoid style talent that just set the world on fire. And I heard personally chose to go the dirt route. Congratulations. Hopefully we can invest into the sport and reward him for that choice. So there's a lot to go into this. And I would really, this is another hard one. This is almost as hard for me to choose as the Kofoid Reitzel. And once again, the numbers are so far off here. I don't know why you got Brady Bacon ranked as the 30th best driver. You got Brady Bacon behind Wayne Johnson. What, where are you getting this from? Wayne Johnson, how many World Outlaw victories does he have in the last 3 years? Or last year, period. So I don't get the ranking systems here, but I am going to have to pick Giovanni Scelzi over Brady Bacon, and it is another toss-up for me. But I do think Giovanni Scelzi is an elite talent of the sport. And then we're knocking Brett Marks out right off the get-go because of Sam Hafertepe Jr. And I'm doing this because Sam Hafertepe Jr., I believe, won the KSP race the other week. And he's from the South. He's from Cowtown. It's funny they call this race Cowtown Classic. There used to be a racetrack, possibly one of the best racetracks in the world, on the fence line of Kennedale Speedway Park called Cowtown Speedway. It was there first. I think somebody won the lottery or something, wanted to buy Cowtown Speedway to run it. And the people who own the track said no. So they were like, all right, screw you. And they built Kennedale Speedway Park literally on the fence line, just to, middle finger the guy. This is the Southern politics drama that is worth leaving the racing scene in the South as well. This is a great place to visit, not a great place to stay. This type of, you don't want to sell me a track? Well, I'll build a track on the fence line. Screw you. That's the type of mentality that happens down there in the South. But regardless, Sam Hafertepe Jr. came up running at Cowtown Speedway and came up running on the short tracks. I remember watching Sam Hafertepe Jr.'s rookie season in the IMCA sprint cars getting lapped 3 or 4 times in the B main every week. So I've seen the development of Sam Hafertepe Jr. since his inception behind the wheel of a race car. And it's came a very long way. And I think that Sam Hafertepe Jr. is really good most of the time. Sometimes he can be extremely impressive. Sometimes it's like what just happened there. Consistency does matter a lot. But I believe that on this track, in this scenario, opening the gate, that Sam Hafertepe Jr. is going to one of the best in Brett Marks. And that's just what I feel here. They got the rankings pretty normal here, actually, 14 and 19. I still don't get how you got Hafertepe Jr. that far back or that far ahead of Aaron Reitzel, because Aaron Reitzel, in my opinion, is going to have a way better shot at winning this event or performing well than Sam Hafertepe. I just think he's got more 410 success. Of course, Sam Hafertepe and Aaron Reitzel was the show in ASCS racing a couple years ago. That was the big battle for the championship and everything. They were going at it every week, and Aaron got opportunities to go and do more and capitalized on it and performed well in 410 racing. So I don't understand how this is even a close situation. And then at the end, we got Landon Crawley over Riley Goodnow. I don't see how this is any kind of debate at all. And then to end it at the very bottom, I am picking Garrett Williamson over Sheldon Hodenschild. I think Garrett Williamson's severely underrated. I know he hasn't raced much this year. I know Sheldon Hodenschild's looking very quick. But I think Garrett Williamson is going to splash down and make some noise right out of the gate. And that's just what I think. I think I'm going to hide the next set of picks until Saturday night has been completed. We'll come in here and see how these all worked out. But this is my first night's bracket right here for this World of Outlaws March Mayhem. That is my first set of picks. If you disagree, it's fine. If you disagree, it's fine. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, just a few thoughts, a few things to say here today going down that bracket. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how the World of Outlaws go this weekend. I'm very intrigued. I've been selling this show as one of the best. I think it's going to be one of the best racing events you can see all year long, Friday and Saturday at Kennedale Speedway Park. There's my Friday picks, the head-to-head bracket challenge. I think you should go over there and check it out. It's actually a pretty cool thing that the World of Outlaws are doing right now. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. Of course, like the video, share the video around, comment below, maybe post your first night sets of picks. I do have my entire bracket filled out. I'm not going to change it, but we'll review them come Saturday or the next day after the first night of racing and see how my bracket went up against yours, because I know I'm going to win some of those. I know Aaron Reitzel's going to perform well. I know some of these guys are going to outdo some of these unknowns versus superstars. Garrett Williamson, you better get up on the wheel. Chase Randall, you better kick Corey Day's ass. Come on, represent your state. Represent your damn state. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. As always, membership button. If you want to join, you can. As always, you can subscribe for free and no charging due or anything like that. You ain't got to pay to be a subscribed member to the Chaz. It's very entertaining, as we got a lot of content coming up here very soon. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. And as always, we will catch you next time.
We can ride high, we can ride low, we can ride